Joseph was different, not because he was perfect, but because he chose to do what was right, even when it cost him. While his brothers adapted to the environment, Joseph held on to his principles, and that bothered them. Because in the wrong environments, the one who does right becomes a threat. Joseph didn't steal from anyone. He didn't deceive anyone. He didn't betray anyone. Yet he was betrayed, and not by enemies, but by his own brothers. Here's the first hard truth of this story. Sometimes the ones who hurt you the most are not the ones who hate you, but the ones who know you. Joseph woke up one day as a son and went to sleep as a slave. He was ripped from his land, taken to a foreign country. No friends, no defense, no explanation. Everything he had done right did not prevent the fall. And still, Joseph kept doing what was right. In Potiphar's house, he worked with excellence. He didn't rebel. He didn't grow bitter. He didn't let his character die. And life slowly began to improve. But this is where the story gets heavy. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him. No one was watching. No one would know. There would be no apparent consequences. It was the perfect moment to give in. And Joseph said no. Not out of fear, but conviction. Here's a truth almost no one wants to hear. Doing what's right doesn't always bring immediate reward. Sometimes it brings punishment. Joseph was falsely accused. He had no defense, no chance to explain. He was thrown into prison. Now pause for a moment and think. If you were Joseph, what would go through your mind? What was the point of being righteous? What was the point of saying no? What was the point of faith? This is where many people give up on God. Not because God failed, but because their expectations were wrong. In prison, Joseph could have become broken, angry, cynical, bitter. But he remained who he was. The Bible says God was with Joseph, but God did not immediately remove him from prison. And that unsettles us, because we like a God who rescues. But the Bible also shows a God who allows processes. Joseph interpreted dreams. He helped people. He carried hope. And then he was forgotten. 2 years. 2 years waiting. 2 years with no answer. 2 years of silence. Here's one of the hardest parts of faith. Sometimes God is working on you while you think He has forgotten you. Then suddenly, everything changes. The king has a dream. No one can interpret it. Joseph is remembered. He goes from prison straight to the palace. No transition, no warning, no human preparation. What looked like delay was actually preparation. Joseph wasn't exalted despite the pain. He was exalted because of the pain. If he had given in, if he had compromised, if he had corrupted himself, he would not have been ready. Here is the center of this story. Some losses are not punishment. They are protection. Some closed doors are not rejection. They are deliverance. Some injustices are not the end. They are the path. Joseph saved nations. But before that, he almost lost everything. And maybe this story is speaking to you right now. Maybe you lost something for doing what was right. Maybe you were overlooked. Maybe you were called foolish. Maybe you were forgotten. But let me tell you something clearly. God does not waste character. Time may delay the reward, but it does not cancel it. If this story spoke to you, maybe you are in the middle of the process, and the process is not comfortable, but it is necessary. Because some victories only come to those who can endure not winning for a while. If you believe in God's purpose, follow this page and leave your comment below.